Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny Taken King video. Update 2.0 is finally here. I am currently downloading it. I'm about halfway through, so I figured what better way to pass the time than to take a look at some of the brand new exotics. Yes, that's right, alongside Update 2.0 the Destiny database got an update, and that also means that the Armory on Bungie.net has received an update with a load of new weapons, and a load of new exotics, some of which we've seen before, some of which are completely new to us. So let's dive right in. Also, if you guys do enjoy this, you're hyped for 2.0, you're hyped for Taken King, or you like some of these exotics, then don't forget to hit that like button. It does really help me out, helps more people see this video, and obviously it helps keep the Taken King coverage coming. Now, let's start off with primary weapons. First up, you have this one. Tlaloc, or Tlaloc, however you pronounce it. This is an exotic scout rifle. This is the one we've seen before that actually has the Warlock emblem on the side. If we take a look at this full screen, you can see you have the Warlock emblem there, and this obviously has a very similar sort of Omolon design, but it is still quite different. Then exit there, we can take a look at the actual perks for this one. You can see under the primary column, it deals kinetic damage. You have Grenadier, where kills with this weapon reduce the cooldown of your grenade. You have the ability to infuse this, where you can consume a more powerful weapon to boost the attack value of this weapon. You then have Overflow, which is obviously the main defining intrinsic perk, where this weapon has better handling, rate of fire, and stability while the wielder's super is charged. And on top of that, you also have Eye of the Storm, where this weapon becomes more accurate as your health gets lower. If we then scroll down, you can see under the selectable perks, in the first column you have Soft Ballistics, Accurized Ballistics, or Smooth Ballistics, and under the second column you have Injection Mold, Hand Loaded, or Armor Piercing Rounds. You can see that the sources for this weapon are a quest, where this item can drop as a quest reward, and obviously the Taken King. So you won't be getting this beforehand, and it seems like this comes specifically from a quest. I would therefore imagine this might well come from, say, like a Warlock quest line, so it might well be. Prior to 2.0, we speculated that there might have been sort of class-specific weapons, but what I think it's probably more likely to be is you might actually have some weapons that come from, say, class-specific quests. So if there are like a Warlock quest, you might have to actually be a Warlock to get this. That much we don't know yet, but either way, this comes from a quest. Moving over to the next one, we have the Fabian Strategy. This is an exotic auto rifle. It looks pretty cool, it looks like a sort of like Haka in design, but if we take a look at the perks for this one, you can see that it again deals kinetic damage. You then have Crowd Control, where kills with this weapon grant bonus damage for a short time. Again, you have the ability to infuse it. You then have your main perk, or your intrinsic perk, Front Lines, where this weapon has increased handling, stability, and rate of fire when enemies are close. So you kind of get the idea that this is going to be a demon if you're up close. It's going to be one of those kind of things where if you use this in Rumble, this could well be a force to be reckoned with. On top of that, you have Life Support, where kills with this weapon while critically wounded have a chance to start regenerating health. Under your selectable perks, you have the Linear Compensator, CQB Ballistics, Smooth Ballistics, and under the second column, you have Small Bore, Extended Mag, and Lightweight. Now again, this comes from a quest, so I would imagine this is, following on from what I said before, I think this is probably most likely to come from, say, a Titan quest line, because this does look like a sort of Titan-esque weapon, and then when we move on to the third one, it's all going to make sense. Plus, obviously, you have the Titan logo there. Then next up, moving over to the Ace of Spades, and this is obviously the third one that I'm talking about before. This also comes from a quest, and this is the one that I believe to be the Hunter-specific weapon. In fact, this actually looks like the hand cannon that K6 has, and while obviously these models on the database are not completely accurate, you know, there will obviously be a lot more detail in game, this obviously gives you an idea. We might have seen a glimpse of this the other day. I kind of raised a point about a sort of black and white gun in one of the most recent trailers, but either way, let's check it out. So again, this deals kinetic damage. You have Third Eye, where your radar remains active while aiming down the weapon sights. Again, the ability to infuse. Your main perk is Maverick, where precision kills move one round from your ammo reserve into the magazine. And you also have Firefly, where precision kills with this weapon cause the target to explode. You have the Steady Hand IS, the Quick Draw IS, and the True Sight IS under your selectable perk column 1. And under column 2 you have Reinforced Barrel, High Caliber Rounds, and Perfect Balance. Now then, moving over to this one, I'm only going to scan over it super quickly because we've seen this one before, but this is obviously Suros Regime 2.0, so this is the Year 2 version of Suros, and if we scroll down, the perks are pretty much the same. You have Kinetic Damage, Suros Legacy, bonus damage with the bottom half of the magazine, chance to return health when dealing damage. Then under perk column 1 you have Lightweight or Hammer Forged. Under perk column 2 you actually have the option to choose. So as you know before, Suros Regime typically has the perk whereby when zoomed, the weapon fires slower and causes additional damage, but if you don't want that and you do want the faster firing option, you can have Spinning Up, where the longer this weapon is fired, the faster it fires. And then down there you have your third column of perks. Then moving over to this one, the First Curse. This is the Year 2 version of the Last Word. Now this is also the other one I saw in the trailer the other day. I did say at the time that it could well be the Year 2 version of Last Word, and it seems that I was right. As you can see here, it's got a silver kind of top to the gun as opposed to the usual gold, but it is still very distinctly based on the Last Word. If you take a look at the perks, you'll see it deals kinetic damage. You have Deadeye, where you get a bonus to range, stability, and movement speed when aiming down sights. You get Triple Tap, where rapidly landing precision hits will return 1 round to the magazine. And you have the First Curse. Precision kills while aiming down sights grant increased range and stability until the next reload. Obviously, again, you have the ability to infuse. And then down here, you have selectable column perk 1 and 2. Under column 1, you have Smooth, CQB, and Soft Ballistics. And under column 2, you have Speed Reload, Quick Draw, and Lightweight. Then next up we have the Love Supercell, which is the sort of AK-47/M40 sort of Soviet looking assault rifle, but this is an auto rifle and the perks are as follows. You have Love Supercell, where arc projectiles have the chance to chain lightning when enemies are close together. You then have Bolts of the Blue, where double kills with this weapon charge a small amount of super energy and return ammo to the magazine. And you have Persistence, where this weapon grows more accurate the longer it is fired. Under column 1 you have Smart Drift Control, CQB Ballistics, and Aggressive Ballistics. And under column 2 you have Braced Frame. And under column 2 you have Braced Frame, Hammer Forged, and Rifled Barrel. Then moving over to this one. This used to be the Vesta 347 Dynasty, but has now been renamed as the Boolean Gemini. And the perks on this one have also changed. The Vesta 347 Dynasty used to have a perk set which was called David and Goliath, and they were interchangeable perks, but this one has as follows. Again, we have kinetic damage, you have unflinching, where it's easier to aim under fire using this weapon, the ability to infuse, and then under column 1 you have One Way, where bonus agility on precision kills stacks up to 3 times, or you have Or Another, where bonus armor or non-precision kills stacks up to 3 times. Then moving down to the other columns, you have Smooth, Accurized, or Aggressive Ballistics, and you then have Perfect Balance, Single Point Sling, or Hammer Forged. Then moving over to the PlayStation exclusive, the Jade Rabbit. Now you guys know about this one, but I'm quickly going to scan over it before we get to the next kind of category of weapons. This is obviously an exotic scout rifle. First up you have the Fate of All Fools, chain body shots to gain bonus damage on your next precision shot and return ammo to the magazine. Now I'm not sure whether that is actually supposed to be here or whether that's a mistake, because obviously that is a perk that's tied to the Fate of All Fools, which is also a scout rifle we're going to be getting, but regardless that is here right now. You have Zen Moment, where causing damage with this weapon increases its stability. You have Spray and Play, which increases the reload speed of this weapon when its mag is empty, and again you have Infuse. Column 1 has CQB and Soft Ballistics, as well as Smart Drift Control, and Column 2 has Custom Optics, Extended Mag, or Speed Reload. It's worth calling out the Custom Optics here is a precision glass for better zoom. This is an extremely long range scout rifle, so I suppose you could say this is the middle ground between a scout rifle and a sniper rifle. Looks really cool, but this is one just for the PlayStation owners out there, for at least the first year. And then we also have Fate of All Fools. Now, I'm actually going to skim over this one because if you scroll down, you'll see that it actually has an option to ascend it, but it doesn't have Infuse. So I don't know whether this one is actually coming to the Taken King just yet. So for the time being, I'm not going to kind of comment on it because we don't actually know where it comes from. Then moving on to special weapons, we have Telesto. This is a new exotic fusion rifle. It deals void damage, and it has the perks Harbinger Spark, where multi-kills with this weapon spawn orbs for your allies. Unplanned Reprieve, where fusion projectiles attach and detonate with a delayed void blast. And Battle Runner. Kills with this weapon grant a brief boost to the sprint's top speed. Under column 1 you have CQB Ballistics, Smart Drift Control, and Smooth Ballistics, and under column 2 you have Flared Magwell, Lightweight, and Enhanced Battery. Then moving on to the shotgun. This is called the Chaperone. Again, we saw this one in the kind of very first trailer, plus on the Instagram post recently, but the perks on this one are as follows. It deals solo damage. You then have the Roadborne, where precision kills briefly grant bonus handling, range, and precision damage with this weapon. The Survivor, where 3 rapid precision kills while born on the road is active, will return 2 rounds to the chamber. And the Chaperone. This weapon fires a single precision slug and it grants agility boost. Under column 1 you have Accurized Ballistics, Linear Compensator of Field Choke, and under column 2 you have Field Scout, Single Point Sling, and Snapshot. Then moving over to the Sniper Rifle. This is the one we saw in one of the most recent trailers, and this is a really, really cool looking gun. If you check down here, we take a look at this. This deals arc damage. And you have the perk The Hereafter, where crouching increases zoom scope and makes it easier to aim under fire. Blinding Light, where precision kills with this weapon will have a chance to cause a bright flash that can blind nearby enemies. And you have the Perfectionist. Magazine is refunded if all shots fired are precision kills. Under the first column you have Linear Compensator, Smooth Ballistics, and Aggressive Ballistics. And under column 2 you have Speed Reload, Snapshot, and Injection Mold. And then moving over to the big ones. For the time being, these are the main additions to the heavy weapon slots. There is a Year 2 Thunderlord, but it doesn't look to be too different at the moment, so I'm just going to focus on these 3. This is obviously Razelighter, the sword that we saw Lauren wielding in the most recent stream. And if we take a look at the model, it does look really, really cool. The perks on this one are as follows. It deals solar damage. You have Sword Strike, where you obviously use your input button to attack with a sword. You have Solar Forged Guard, which is effective against Arc and Void attacks, but less effective against solar attacks, and it allows you to guard incoming attacks. You have Tempered Light, which increases armor when wielding the sword. Phoenix Uppercut, which you use to launch into a solar uppercut. And obviously the ability to infuse. Under your selectable perks, you have Scabbard, which increases the sword ammo capacity, or Thrive by the Sword, where kills with the sword grant super energy. And under column 2, you have Scabbard again, which further increases the ammo capacity, or Warrior of Light, which increases the damage for your attack. And if you scroll up here for a second, you can see that it says under sources that Lord Shaxx, the Crucible Handler, sometimes sells this item in the tower. Alternatively, it also comes from a quest. Now, I'm not sure whether he will just sell it outright, or whether the quest comes from him. That much will remain to be seen, but that is what it says. Again, only comes with the Taken King. However, it doesn't stop there. The Raise Lighter is not the only exotic sword. There is also this, Boltcaster. This is the Arc version of it, and it looks so awesome. This is probably my favourite sword out there. I'm all about Arc weapons, plus this one definitely looks the coolest. There's also a Void one, which you guys will see in a second, but let's start with this one. Obviously, again, this deals Arc damage. You again have the Sword Strike, where you can use your input button to attack with the sword, but this time you have Arc Forged Guard, where this is effective guarding against solar and void attacks, but less effective against Arc. You have Tempered Light, again increasing armor when wielding the sword, but this time you have Sword of Thunder, used to shoot a beam of arc light from your sword, creating a lingering electrical storm. Again, you can infuse this, and then down here again you have Scabbard in both these two columns to increase ammo capacity, but you have Live by the Sword, where kills with the sword have a chance to grant orbs, or you have Warrior of Light, increased damage for your attack. Then finally moving on to Dark Drinker. This is the Void version of the sword. This one looks like a massive kind of great sword, or buster sword kind of thing, but this is also pretty awesome. I'm still a massive fan of the Arc one, but this is super awesome. Perks on this one, obviously Void damage, Sword Strike again, Void Forged Guard, obviously effective against Solar and Arc, but not so much against Void. Tempered Light, increased armor when wielding the sword, and Supermassive Vortex, used to unleash a spiral of void energy in all directions. It just sounds absolutely insane. Again, all of these ones come from the same sources, Crucible Handler obviously having a chance to sell it, and obviously the quest as well. Again, you have Scabbard, Die by the Sword, kills with the sword, replenish grenade energy, or you have Warrior of Light, increase your damage per attack, and Scabbard again. So, those, my friends, are the exotics that have currently been added to the Armory. As I said, there are a couple of other Year 2 versions, like Truth is getting Year 2 version, there's also Thunderlord, but for the most part they haven't changed too much, so I decided to kind of skim over them for now, but those are the new exotics. Let me know in the comments down below which ones you're most hyped about, which ones you like the most, and obviously once again don't forget to leave a like, and also don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, to stay up to date on all the latest Taken King news. Thanks again for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.